I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen, amen.
Hello.
Hey. Well,
What's up?
everybody's only here. It's only us three.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Everybody loves us.
Two amigos and one amiga.
You want to post? You want to post two amigos and one amiga? What do you mean? You ain't no damn amiga.
What? What do you mean I'm not an amiga?
You
Fine
ain't
then,
no
I can live.
amiga.
Was you born in the brown side? Okay, we do. We all got that one Cherokee princess that kicks it with us.
Hello, Christopher.
Oh man.
Hey, I am a proud native Mexican English mutt, okay?
Okay, you are, amiga.
We're all mutts.
Oh,
We'll go ahead and
man.
post the link if anybody wants to come up and chat. We're just gonna pretty much just shoot the shit and talk about current events, talk about Canada, of course. So if you want to come up in here and put your input in, Chris, you're more than welcome.
Yep.
Let's see, like, as soon as I can get the link to post.
Let's see. I don't even know where the link is.
Oh,
there it is. Nope, that was just.
Oh, you put it? Why isn't my internet working right?
I don't know. We hear you.
I can't post it. It's not letting me post. Jojo, you're gonna have to post it.
Back to go.
But Jojo, what I meant by no amiga, you know, we're a couple, so you're not an amiga.
Huh?
Never mind. It went right by both of you.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm more than an amiga. I get that.
Yeah.
I just meant we're amongst friends, right? Because we're friends. Hello?
Right. We're always
that's
amongst
what I meant.
friends.
Yes.
So, what do you guys think about all this trucker stuff in Canada? What do you think?
Loving it. Love it.
Oh, I know, huh?
We do. I wish us over here will band together like that, but it's sad to say we won't.
I don't know about that. I think we are.
We the side of half of us will, at least. The other half will say it's racist. The other half will listen to the news and say that we're doing it for this and we're doing it for that, and we're doing it just because we're Trump fans and all this and that. You know what? We're doing it because we need to. We need to stop the way this snowball is going.
Well, I think it's going to happen because the word is that a lot of these truck stops are, well, where's all the trucks? Because they're not at the truck stops. They're not hitting a lot of these rest stops. So they got to be going somewhere. Question is, are they going to go to Washington or are they going to go to the border?
You
Or
take it
both.
right to the fucking box.
Yep, both. Because I know they are planning two runs going from one from Sacramento, one from down south somewhere, and they're supposed to go to Washington, some of them are supposed to go to the border, but this ain't until I think like a week or so, I believe.
I wanted to join in one of those caravans. I was hoping I could make it in time, but I don't think I'm gonna make it in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime between now and March 1st, I believe.
Yeah.
So, if you don't get your Amazon packages or your groceries, sorry about you. Because they got bigger fish to fry.
Stock up.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of rice and beans. I'm good.
Everybody has rice and beans.
Same here.
Rice and beans?
Exactly. Hey, you can live off rice and beans. That's it. That's all you need.
Well,
you live off that.
Yep.
Exactly. We have rice, beans, and noodles.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Rice, beans, and noodles.
All I know is that we need to come together and fucking take care of this shit because this is getting out of hand. I'm getting tired of it. I'm
Yes.
getting tired of all the fucking bullshit. I'm tired of the runaround. Just fucking. I know it's easier said than done. I know shit has
Yeah.
to be done in a process and in a certain way, but I'm fucking tired of it.
Just like people say, "Oh, I'm just one person. What can I do?" One person can lead millions.
Yeah.
Right.
All it takes is that one person to stand up. I mean,
Well, it's
we're
like,
so
go ahead.
we're so far from the Lord, from our thoughts and everything. I just seen a post about the administration wanting to give crack pipes to people to give out. Governmental
Who?
crack pipes.
Yep. They're giving them to the health
You
associations and whatnot.
Yep,
They funded it for
what?
like, what was it, 30 some million dollars or something?
yep, yep.
Or,
Are you fucking
yeah,
shitting me?
Hold,
no.
I'll send you the link right now.
Yeah,
On
put it in
text.
private chat so JoJo can post it so she can play it right now because I can't play it because my computer's down.
Oh no, it's just a picture. It's not because I
That's
couldn't
fine.
find that.
She could or share it.
I can, yeah, I can put it up, or somebody can.
That's fucking insane. First they do
Yeah,
the
Hmm.
CIA does all this fucking man.
They
it
want
was on
everybody
Get rid of all these
doped
three
up,
letter
man.
agencies.
Daily Mail.
That's
Let's see.
fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
I seen it on TikTok. A woman was announcing it,
Yeah.
and I went and looked it up, and I was like, holy shit!
The J. The J.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's getting a phone call.
Let me.
Yeah.
I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Go
I'm
handle
getting a
what
call
you're
from my
gonna handle.
cousin, so I'll be right back. And
Mm.
I'll
Yeah.
All right, go handle it.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
That
I
is
thought
really
so too.
fucking crazy.
Like I said, they want us
Oh,
all doped up and zombied, basically. I mean, look how many people's buried in their phones.
oh yeah,
Imagine them all
that's
spaced
been
out.
going on. That's been going on. I always said they can't implant us with a microchip, so they hand us one and we gladly put it up to our fucking head.
Hmm. Yep.
I can't fucking believe that shit. Crack pipes. First there was fucking condoms in school, now it's fucking crack pipes.
Well, it's that whole, you can't beat them, join them mentality that they're trying to promote, I guess.
Man, I love this fucking country, but I can't stand this fucking government.
Mhm. Well, that's why it's going to take all of us to stand up and speak up and speak out and do things. Like they were going to arrest the people if they were caught with a gas can helping the convoy. They were
Oh,
supposed to
in
arrest
Ottawa?
them. Hmm.
Yeah. I seen a
And
brief
so,
video of that.
and so the sidewalks filled up with people with gas cans.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't arrest
fucking
them all.
insane. Taking their
Like,
fuel.
right? That's whose side are they on? You know?
Well, not
Like,
ours, that's for damn sure. Not the people's.
exactly. I mean, and people's going to remember that too. People's going to remember, whose side you were on, you know? So, I'll tell y'all. I think just because you got a badge and a gun, you're supposed to serve and protect the people, not be security for the tyranny.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens. I'm sure word's going to spread far and wide.
Still tripping out on this whole fucking crack pipe shit.
All right, sorry about that. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, it's hitting a lot of people. So, something else. I
So
don't
is
know
there
why,
anything
but
you
it
wanted
wouldn't
to
let me
share,
pin.
Jojo?
Well, I thought you guys had something. I can look something up
We
here.
did, but you know what happened with my bro and all that, and maybe he might want to talk about it later, but what happened with him,
Right.
he's dealing with that situation right now. So
Exactly. Well, let me see.
So, Christopher, if you're
Hold
still
on.
in chat, how's it in Canada going? How is it right now?
I was going to say, I actually have a link for them. If it'll let me play it.
Okay.
For those who don't know.
Sorry about that.
Is he back?
Yeah, I'm
That
back.
was quick.
Right.
What, you teleport your ass over there or what?
No, I had you on mute for a while. I was talking to my cousin, and I just found out that I can have both of you guys on, so I had to mute myself, and yeah, I just got confused, and then I hung up with him, and then it kicked me out, and I had to come back in. But I'm here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah. So I had bad news though that I got on Friday. One of my cousins passed away.
Yeah.
And it was due to an oxy laced with fentanyl. Um,
I'm sorry, bro.
yeah, no, thank you. It's hard to get through this, but just to know that this could have been avoided. That this drug has destroyed so many people, and what is it even doing in oxy? And I know they lace it and they press them and stuff.
No, it's not that. It's just that the dealers cut it down,
Yeah,
and fentanyl's so damn cheap to get, so oxy's more expensive, so they just cut it with the fentanyl.
yeah, yeah. But man, yeah, he was 37 years old, 3 kids. He had a girl. He had a lot. He had a lot to live for. It wasn't done with him,
Yeah.
but he had a lot of bad cards dealt to him in his life, like most of us.
Yep.
Um, we all deal with it in different ways, and it just happened that the way he dealt with it, yeah, sucks. It sucks, but I don't know. This drug needs to go, and I know it's not going to go anywhere. It
Yeah.
shouldn't even be here. It shouldn't even be on the street. But yeah, it's just like every drug that people get prescribed, people abuse, and this is the result. It's a sad
Yeah.
result.
I'm sorry, bro.
Oh no, it's good. It's okay. It's something I need to talk about. I need to get this out. I know his brother. Um, he just lost his mom like a couple years ago. His dad, and then now his brother. He's the only one. So we're trying to be strong for him. We got to be there for him. And I was just talking to him, and he said he wants to get that story out. Um, he knows both sides. He knows the addictive side. He knows the selling side. He knows the loss side now.
Yeah.
And yeah, he like he just said. He goes, I'm only one person though. Who's gonna listen to me? I
Well, hell,
said,
just bring them on and at least
that,
spread the word like this, because
yep,
uh,
that's what I told him.
I don't mind like talking about it, because fentanyl it's killed a few of my friends, and
Yeah,
now it's killed your cousin, and man, dude.
yeah. This,
Yeah, it's like when they busted that truckload and like they try to crack down on it, but
And you know where all the
it
shit's
still
coming
makes
from,
its
right?
way in. Mm-hmm.
Canada.
No, coming from the southern border.
I know. I'm just messing around with
And
Canada.
who could we thank for all that shit?
Oh yeah, fucking Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Killing our countrymen, and and now he's gonna be sending our sons off to die in a meaningless war.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up because ever since this idiot came in office, we've lost more fucking patriots, more Americans, and I can't even count, dude. Like, of course I can't count, but still, it's just like it's crazy. Why
Why
hasn't
not?
anybody done anything? Like, why is he still in fucking office?
All right, but we know why. We we have to let this play out and show these other sheep what's going on, because they won't
Mhm.
believe it until
At
they
what
see it.
cost,
Until
though?
I know, but yeah, a great cost. It's going to be a great cost. We're going to lose so many people. We've lost a lot of people.
And the war still continues, and it must go on. I mean,
No, I agree, and I'm all in for battle because it's insane. We got to do something. We got to stand up. We got to at least get our voices out there to be heard. But at what cost? Like, what is it gonna take for them to realize that this fucking clown in office is just a fucking clown, a puppet? Hey, John. Oh, I didn't even notice you're here.
I
The
think
link's
people
in
know.
chat, John. If you want to jump up.
I actually pinned it to the top, so it should be at the top of both channels.
All right. There was a loud motorcycle go driving by, so I had to mute it.
Right.
I'm trying to get the back noise down.
My son kept making a bunch of noise. I'm like,
But no, it does need to be over with already. And we already know what's going on. But you think if they just swooped in there and took Pendejo out of the White House, or well, he's not even in the White House, out of his office, wherever he's at,
He's in the basement. Come on
this
now.
country will freak. This country will freak. All they'll say that, oh, Trump did this and he took the election, and this and that. We have to let him show how demonic these people are. We have to, and we know, and it hurts us because we know the loss, we know what we're losing. It's yeah, it does need to be over with already.
Yeah.
for sure. I think they've drug it out for a long time, and unfortunately, they're going to drag it a little bit longer.
Oh, that's
You might want to move it
Oh,
off. You're talking on the phone.
some people says hopefully by March. I don't know. I know we're not supposed to do dates, but
Yeah, no, let's not do that because everybody's under the assumption that something's gonna happen soon. I don't know.
yeah.
In my
Very
honest
good.
opinion, I don't see anything happening anytime soon because of the simple fact that it got to play out, and it's taking a lot longer than we expected. So, for those everybody is throwing
go
out
ahead.
dates, don't or going running with somebody that they heard somebody throw a date. Don't dwell on the date because honestly, nobody knows what's gonna happen. Um, Anybody could say that they have an inside source, but it's bullshit. They're not going to divulge their information or their tactics like that to just the general public. And I'm sorry, but don't get caught up in that loop.
Yeah. I mean, while there's information coming out, and not to discredit any of the information, just,
No, I'm not
you
discrediting
know,
anything.
if I'm just saying for myself personally, I hope it's over by March. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't say for sure if it's going to happen then, but
I hope it's over tomorrow, but
right, true. But I mean, I don't know.
we're on the Lord's time. When He wants it to happen, it'll happen.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, shoot. I thought I
Jojo,
had
do you have
a.
I was gonna ask if you had a video that we could play real quick, just so I could talk to him backstage real quick.
Yeah, I got that. What's going on in Ottawa right now? I do have a live link
Yeah.
for them. I was trying to look for something in Telegram, but it's not in there. Let's see. I had it pulled up, and then I closed it because the computer's acting wonky. Let's see.
But yeah, bro. If you want to invite your cousin on, we'll set up a stream and we'll put the word out there and see if we can get as many people as possible. Maybe even get Hawk to maybe assist and try and get the word out on that fentanyl, because it is bad and it is all coming in from the southern border, and we need to take care of that. That's not cool. It's like fucking.
definitely. I'll talk to him. Because he does say he did say he wants to, but don't know where to go. And I told him, don't worry about that. We'll figure that out. As long as he gets that his story out. And I mean, one voice can change thousands.
Yeah.
I mean, and actually hear the pain in him right now, and yeah, it'll hit a lot of people. So if we
How
can
does
set
Hawk
it up,
do that? What's an overlay? Oh, never mind. It's not what I want. I was trying to figure out how to do the box like Hawksy puts on there, but I don't know how he does it.
He
I'll
uses
just put the banner up.
Manny. Oh no, he does share.
All right, well, I'll pull this video up now because he's actually dropping some intel right now. This is live in Canada, in Ottawa, Canada.
Hello.
Let's see if I can get it. Why can't I hear it? I got it muted.
Of going.
Here we go. Maybe.
Yeah, guys, I'm not monetized. That's why I have to do it like this.
Well, dang, why does it always do this to me on the first try?
hey, it ain't a stream until we get at least one bug. Yes, we definitely can put that up there, right?
Let me try to refresh it, I guess. Doggone it. It's like playing over here, and then the second I go to share it starts to buffer. It's like it knows I'm sharing.
Don't even worry about it, Jojo. Look, I used to get all stressed out over the stream, like, oh yeah, we're fucking up and this and that. You know what? I don't even care.
No, I'm not stressing,
I'm gonna
but
do
it's
it because
just.
I want to. Oh, yeah, okay.
No, I wasn't
Like
stressing.
people-
I'm just wondering why is it playing good until I go to share it, and then it wants to buffer. I don't.
Because it's
like,
YouTube. YouTube loves fucking with us. You know that.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
We're
did
the
you hear
ones
the
that
good
got a
news?
strike for not having a strike. Remember?
Just
Right,
get
we
free
got a
shit.
warning. Yeah, it was a warning. We had a warning for not having a warning.
Warning. Yeah.
It's like, welcome
Wow.
to YouTube. There's your
So
warning.
we're gonna warn you because you don't have a warning yet.
Yep, we're warning
Well-
you. You're going to get a warning.
You want to know what I think it is, though? There's like 4,000 people watching this channel. Like, this channel I'm trying to get going. So, that's going to be a lot of bandwidth, probably.
Yeah.
Them plus our stream. So,
Yeah. I don't think ours is affecting it.
but I can do this, though. Oh my god, they got dude dressed up like Batman. The heck. Well, I know what I can do. I can drop the link for those who do want to go watch it. These guys are
You do
crazy.
that.
Oops.
If anybody in chat wants to come up and just shoot the shit, talk, fucking
Hey,
bullshit,
there's Johnny.
whatever. Oh,
Here's
John.
Johnny. Hey, John.
Hey,
up?
hey, John.
Oh,
Not much. We're
goodness.
just up here fucking ranting and raving.
Well, that's all we can do right now.
Right.
Yep. How you doing?
Let's see, did I go through? Yeah, I went through. Okay.
Yeah, I was watching a video on Ukraine, and it's kind of like almost like a civil war going on. But at the same time, it's almost like, you know how when you watch a lot of the videos here of like Antifa, BLM, different things, it almost seems like it's all staged.
Yeah.
Right?
Crisis actors, whatever you want to call it. A lot of that, what I watched was just like that. You know, the young boy, he was 16. He was joining one of the sides of the two sides, and he was supposedly in like a war zone where a lot of people were getting shot and everything, you know, and he's standing there smiling, you know, not even ducking or taking, you know, it's like, come
Yeah,
on.
just like, yeah, no, yeah. Somebody's taking pop shots at me. Trust me, I'll be ducking and diving.
Did you get that one link I sent, JoJo?
Jojo?
Yeah, I got it.
That was a pretty good link. And it
I was gonna.
yeah, it kind of says like the way a lot of us feel, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can
Yeah, I
actually
was
play it
gonna
if you
try
want.
to save it.
That's up to you guys. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's just a little quick video. I thought it was right here. Is it this one right here? I think. No. No. I know I saved it.
Yeah, there's a
I thought
lot
my
going
history
on.
would be faster. Go
There's
ahead,
a
John.
lot going on. There's a lot going on that we just don't. I mean, you really have to be looking and paying attention to see it. But that's just like,
Yeah.
you know, everybody was paying attention on the Arizona elections. But there's several states doing audits, even Texas, and they were finding
Oh, yeah.
large discrepancies. And so it's kind of like, okay, you know, if we're knowing this and we're seeing these things, we know oh, we want to use the word white hats, but, you know, everybody's seeing it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see if I can share that.
The most terrifying force of death comes from the hands of men who just wanted to be left alone. They try so very hard to mind their own business and provide for themselves and those they love. They resist every impulse to fight back, knowing the forced and permanent change of life that will come from it. They know that the moment they fight back, their lives as they have lived them are over. The moment that the men who wanted to be left alone are forced to fight back, it's a form of suicide. They're literally killing off who they used to be. Which is why, when forced to take up violence, these men who wanted to be left alone fight with unholy vengeance against those who murdered their former lives. They fight with raw hate and a drive that cannot be fathomed by those who are merely play acting at politics and terror. True terror will arrive at these people's door, and they will cry, scream, and beg for mercy. but will fall upon the deaf ears of the men who just wanted to be left alone.
That's pretty much where I'm at right now. Like that's exactly
Amen.
how I feel.
Amen. There's a lot of us who know how to do bad things that we put in behind in the back closets that we still remember to do. When that when those unleash, then the true Americans come out because we will fight for this country.
That's like the saying the Indians have. Inside of us, there are two wolves. And, the young Indian was asking the chief, well, how do you know which wolf wins? And the chief said, it's the one you feed. And that's so
Yep.
true. I mean, we are a double-sided sword. Um, you push us to our limits, and a switch gets flipped.
Well, yeah. It's like you flex a piece of metal so many times, it's bound to snap. So people are gonna start snapping, and it's gonna be bad. And they just gotta be careful when good people start doing bad things because there it's gonna be all hell.
That's why the United States is unique. I mean, we're a melting pot of different people, and also, we're probably the most heavily armed civilization on the planet. You know,
Yeah, that's true. That is so very true. Because everywhere else they could only own what shotguns and like 22s or something like that.
yeah. I mean, and even that, they restricted us because by all rights and constitution, we should be able to have the same weapons our military has.
Yeah, yeah. But also the Second Amendment says that it shall not be infringed. And doesn't that mean it can't be touched? Period. No questions asked. Nothing can touch it.
Exactly. But yet, look at what
So
they've
how is it
done.
exactly? How is it that they altered it?
See, the thing is, they didn't alter. The states put uh like speculations on the stuff we can use on the weapons. They can't take them. They can't fully take them, but they can take the amount of ammunition it holds. They can take away this, make everything illegal, but they can't touch the actual where they can take our guns. They can't.
But even that, it's kind of like you give an inch, they'll take a mile.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly. All I
But
know is
we'll
that
take
this
the miles
this.
back.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying we're gonna take our miles back,
I'm gonna take our country back. That's what we need to do.
right?
This tyrannical government needs to go.
Exactly. Well, this might be how we do it. These people standing up right there. It's a lot of people.
But I think, too, like Canada, the truckers in Canada, that's one part of it. And you figure Canada and many countries around the world, the United States, we've been very blessed that we've been able to keep our guns and we kept our um, basically our freedoms in that sense. But what we lack in the United States is also what lacks around the world, and that's justice.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But then again, we've been lied to our whole lives about what our freedom is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our freedom is God given. Our rights are God given. Everything's God given to us. The government has no authority to take any of that away from us.
The government has their hand in everything. You can't go get married without having the government's approval. You can't buy a house without having the government's approval. You can't sometimes in some places you can't even park your car on your own lawn because you gotta have an HOA like or the community approve it or not even approve it. They just don't like it. You can't do it, and it's your property. You supposedly own it. Like, how is that freedom?
Exactly.
We don't own property. We just rent it.
Yeah.
We don't own anything. We just rent it.
We've been ambushed.
Yep.
So how do we get back to being
Well,
free? I guess again.
we have to stand up for ourselves. That's the start.
We have to stand up, but at the same time, the same principles that supposedly
We have to be informed.
this nation was formed under. You know, it was formed under the belief in a creator, a God. Um, I think that is the biggest thing, to have morals, restore our morals and um, our sense of who we are and what our purpose is. You know, I mean, we've got we our biggest downfall isn't really evil; it's ignorance, because
Ignorance, yes, exactly.
we've not been educated. We don't, you know, we don't really know a lot of our history, or um, you know, because throughout, like, I like to look and do research and stuff, and through time you can just see where this certain group of people, and it's not, you can't really say it's the Jews or the Jesuits or the Illuminati or the Masons, or you can't put a label on them, or cabal.
No.
Because these are people that are in everything. You know, it's just a corrupt people who are corrupt minded, and all they care about is money and wealth and power. um, these people, and they're in everything. They're in our churches, our schools, our government, our police force, our military. They're everywhere.
Yeah. We know they're in the churches for sure. We know they're in the government for sure. Well, was it Hoover that brought in the mob to assist the government, and that's when they kind of integrated it? Was it Hoover or?
It was right after World War One, and we was going into World War Two. That's when they made the deal with the mafia.
That's when it was, yeah. And that's when our government started going corrupt. So that was about 1918? 1919?
20s, around the 20,
Yeah.
23, something like that, I think. But
go ahead.
It's just been a slow process, over time, and it's just gotten worse and worse over time. And two, a lot of the things you've seen happen, like JFK assassination, Reagan getting shot, 9/11, Oklahoma City bombing, wars and this and that. These are all as a result of, like, move and counter move, kind of like that chess game they talk about. Yeah, it's not. There are good people who've been in this fight, but I think it took till now to kind of like get the upper hand.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are now. I believe the good people have got the upper hand. We got the help of the technology and different things.
No, and I agree. Without technology, we wouldn't be as informed as we are now, but technology could also be our downfall.
In the wrong hands, yes.
Yeah. I know firsthand technology could do some pretty evil stuff, and I don't know. I wanted to end. I wanted to end already. I never thought that this would happen in my lifetime. I always knew it would happen, but I never thought it would happen in my lifetime. No, it'll happen later on, 2, 3 generations from now. But no, it's actually happening in our lifetime. And I'm worried about if nothing comes out of it, what's this country gonna look like for my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, my great great grandchildren?
Well, and that's just it. I mean, we are at a point. I believe it's a good point. I believe we're, in time, it's a good point in time. Um, we have a chance to make good changes for the future if we can just go about it the right way. And I think
Yeah,
the right way is everybody has to become oh, a little more educated and aware,
exactly.
you know, and that's why like you and JoJo and me and Hawk and everybody, Wilson, talking and trying to wake people up, trying to educate, to spark a person interest into um, researching, you know,
Yeah.
um,
If
and not take everything that's told on the news and everything as being um, correct.
every day I talk to people and I tell them that same exact thing. Don't listen to the news. Oh, but the news said this, the news said that. I go, trust me, just if you feel that something that the news says is right, just research it. Take a keyword, take wherever it's coming from, the publication, or if it's coming from the White House. Go to the website. Go to the White House website. Go to whitehouse.gov. They'll, everything is public information. You'll find out whether it's accurate or not accurate, or if it's been altered in any way. But don't just take it for granted and say, okay, well that's what it is. What it is. That they said it's that way and it's that way. Okay, I'm looking at a green grass, but they're telling me it's blue, so I guess it's blue. Like no, don't. And a lot of people around me have already came to me and told me, oh, thank you for at least opening my eyes to certain things. But they still have their blinders on. They're still people don't want to. People are so comfortable in the norm. They want to stay in their little bubble. They want their little bubble to stay. So they figure if they don't look, it won't happen or it's not happening. Well, it's just getting worse because people don't want to look. They don't want to take out those blinders and peek around the corner or look back or whatever. People need to start paying attention and start actually, okay, yes, you're in your life. You got to do your life. You got to take care of your family. But what's going to happen tomorrow when, let's say, the shit does hit the fan and you get caught with your pants down? Kind of understand where I'm trying. I'm being very blunt, but I think it's time to be blunt.
Definitely.
And I think too, people just like when I talk to my friend and stuff like that, he was always like, and he'll even tell you that if it don't affect him personally, he doesn't really give a shit.
That's how most of us Americans are. We've got to
Well,
that point. If it don't affect us, then we're good. Well, it's affecting a lot of us now, from gas prices to
it's
food
fucking
prices
everybody.
to everything. Yep.
Right. And I think it has to be like that so people will start to question and maybe start to look into things. And two, it's kind of like, the conspiracy theorist. And people always like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, or that whatever, like 9/11. You bring up that stuff. Oh, that's conspiracy theory. And now people start looking at it and say, wow, maybe that was, maybe these
Yeah,
people.
maybe they did know something.
Right.
You know what conspiracy theorists? You know who created that term, conspiracy theorist, right? CIA.
CIA. Yeah.
Yeah, our great three-letter agency. That doesn't spy on American citizens. It doesn't spy on we the people. But yet, that's all they do. They were created just to spy on us. They were created just to program us. Oh, don't get me started on CIA. And I know they're listening.
And they told us they're going to. The whole Patriot Act or whatever it was, where they told us, okay, we're going to monitor you guys, but it's for the best of the country, you know.
Well, and two, there's actually a couple of documents done. I think it was PBS that did them, where the commander of the NSA during or right after 9/11, and that might even been the title of the video, after 9/11. Um, well, Bush Jr. approached the NSA and said, you know, what do you need from me in order to basically surveil the U.S. people? Or, what all do you need from me? So the commander of the NSA went and they thought about it and come back and said, well, we need this. And they were trying to, basically, when they did that, they were trapping Bush because it was like, well, we need you to authorize this. And we questioned the legality of your authority. Bush is like, oh, my lawyers and me, this is well within my authority. But it wasn't. It was truly, bluntly, a violation of Constitution, which he violated. So that's treason. That's a traitor. That's treasonous right there. And they got that all. They got that all on a document. So there's so much stuff. Like if you look at like the deep rig, the plot against the president.
That's a good movie, by the way.
Yeah, all these things.
We
It's
should
like,
play
wow,
that here one of these days.
it's all documented. They hung themselves.
Yeah, exactly. You know how the CIA got away with spying on American people? They did it from foreign land. They can't
Exactly.
spy on American people being on American soil. They have to go somewhere else to be able to spy on American people. It's insane. And then the Patriot Act. Oh yeah, that's a whole different story. There.
Yeah.
That's a bullshit ass fucking. That's just bullshit.
But like I said, this war's been going on for quite some time, and slowly these criminals have just been hanging themselves. And I think too, Trump, a lot of people are like, Trump, Trump, Trump. But it's like, Trump wasn't just Trump. There was a whole bunch of people behind him, which was the good NSA, the FBI, the CIA, the DIA, all these people who have been watching all this unfold for generations, but they had to let it play out because it's kind of like they say, master chess game. We want to get we want to get the big boys. We want to get the not just the pawns and the rooks. We want to get the kings and the queens.
Yep. Can you imagine what the history books are going to say about this day and age right now, like this time?
Exactly.
2020 and so on and so forth. We're like, this is the biggest thing to ever happen in U.S. history, besides it being, it's insane that we're living in this time and we're participating in it, believe it or not.
Exactly.
This is our Civil War.
This is the biggest event probably in world history.
Yep.
And it's I believe it is a joint effort with several nations.
Exactly.
And I believe that was the whole idea of Space Force. In the Cheyenne Mountain is the headquarters for Space Force, which is there's what's called a contingency plan. If shit ever hit the fan, and let's say they nuked Congress and took out the president and Congress and all of them. There was always been a contingency plan in place, and they call it the shadow government. This is a
Yeah.
government that's always on backup, on standby. And I believe, like the events that happened, the riots, and then the Capitol event, these all, we know the Capitol event was staged,
Oh yeah.
but it was staged for a good reason. Because if we have an insurrection, then they can activate the shadow government. Everything else
Yeah.
goes into a basically what we're seeing, play out, while the real government that's in place carries out the duties. And I believe, like I said, Space Force. There's a military alliance that took place, and I believe China's part of it, Russia's part of it, um, Turkey. There's major players that are part of this Space Force. You know, I don't believe we're going to have a nuclear war. There's going to be a lot of
I
talk, a
don't
lot
either.
of this, because like Ukraine had to be brought out and exposed,
Mm-hmm.
because Ukraine is actually one of the major money laundering capitals of the world. If you wanted money to disappear and be laundered, that's the place it went.
Yeah, because they're not involved in the banking system. They don't participate in the banking system, or should I say?
Uh, it's so, oh, like secretive, dark,
Uh huh.
that. Um, that's the reason why. But you know, you got all these nations like I believe there's Seven Eyes, which is the seven intel agencies of the world, major international agencies. You know, they've got it all. I believe they do. When they said they got it all, they got it all.
Yeah, and on that note, I'm going to play this real quick because I believe if the news would play stuff like this, it would wake the people up. They got to see it on the news. That's a shame, but let's see. I hope I can get it to play. These people are mad. If it'll play. I don't know. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Oh, y'all keep talking. I'll try again. I swear. I just like watching her get
It's
yelled
on our
at.
YouTube page too. It's on one of our YouTube pages. You can probably just share it from the YouTube.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why it
But
just takes a minute. It's like delayed or something.
no, it's the
Let's see.
internet. We know that they're messing with the internet. We know they're doing stuff. We know, especially when we're on at this time, peak hours, we know what's flying overhead. Anybody's watched Monkey Works, you know exactly what's flying overhead, and pretty much they're interfering. They're putting blockers. Because why is it the internet works just fucking perfectly fine after, let's say, Pacific Standard Time, about 11:30, everything starts clearing up and it runs just peachy. Why is it that between 8 and 10, it's like, hell, you can't even broadcast?
I don't know. Well, people are turning to the internet more than like cable TV and different things. They turned all that shit off, and now we're using the internet. Even if you're going to watch local news, you
Yeah.
can watch that on here as well. But you know, I think maybe it's just a massive load on the system.
Yeah, it's probably
It
too
very
many
well
people
could
on
be.
it. I wish I could just play it
I'm a
from here.
conspiracy theorist, so I'm still under the conspiracy theories that the government is trying to block us.
And I'd say they're doing that too.
Oh, you
Okay,
know
let's
they
see if
love
I can
us.
get it now.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Can y'all hear it?
Yes, I am. You do not.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You are a liar. You are a liar. You are a liar. You are a liar. You have the audacity. You have been fighting deportation. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You do not. You don't know what you're talking. You are a liar. You are a liar. You are a liar.
This doesn't get old.
Yeah, that was all the
Oh,
DACA kids.
yeah.
But
No, that's what
even
I'm saying. If they
And all the
showed that,
dreams.
come on now. Instead of that, what was her little last thing they showed where had the Full House background or something?
Yeah, San Francisco, like she's really in San Francisco.
Right, you could tell that was green screened.
yeah, that's what I say. So much of everything we're saying just seems so fake. It's like, come on, you know.
Mm.
But it, you know, maybe that's the psych off to where they're doing things behind the scene, and this is what they're showing us, just so people would say, man, it's so silly that people would have to question it, you know.
You know what would solve this whole problem is if we just ended career politicians. No more career politicians, and I think this problem will be solved very, very quickly.
Yep.
Career politicians, even our complete structure of government, really, why do we
Mm-hmm.
need you know, the people who like Washington, Davis, and these people like that had a theory, and since then the government has done nothing but grow, and
Yeah.
most everything can be done away with. We don't need all this.
No.
I just think if they all had term limits of some kind, whether it was 2 years or something like that, all of it, the House, all of them, from the
I mean,
president up.
in society, what do we really need? You know, um, I,
I know for a
you know,
fact that I don't need a leader.
do we even need all that government? Because if you stop and look, when you go back to the Civil War, this is what it was about. Because there was actually, what was it, 14 Confederate presidents before George Washington ever became president,
Mm-hmm.
and then they became the more perfect union. But this is what people didn't really want. They didn't want this type of government because it resembles so much of the British and the Vatican City. Basically, that's what we did. We brought it over here.
I was going to say, I think it's more of an imperfect government than a perfect one, but I just think if they would do what they are supposed to do, they're supposed to protect us, they're supposed to do the checks and balances, but that's it. Like,
They don't.
they overstep their
They
bounds too
incriminate us.
much. Well, they're
Why is it that
playing
we have
devil's advocate.
American
No,
veterans that are
goodness.
homeless? I'm sorry for walking all over you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jojo.
No, it's okay. That's what I'm saying. They're supposed to keep the checks and balances to make sure everything's running good and smooth and like it's supposed to. And instead, they're doing the opposite. They're corrupting everything. So, yeah, because by all means, they
Yeah.
should be taking care of us for, keeping us in the good standings, not bad.
Especially our veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have homeless veterans. We shouldn't have homeless, hungry veterans. We shouldn't have veterans on the street. We shouldn't have veterans that are. We should have our veterans should be taken care of. They should be not put on pedestals per se, but they should be well taken care of. There should be no reason why the VA denies them some kind of medical treatment, or they can get certain loans, or they can get certain funds to do certain things. Like there's no reason why. They fought for this country. They should be taken care of. There's no reason for it. That right there says a lot about our government.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Why ain't they building a Hilton for them or something and giving them the proper health care or psychiatrist or whatever to talk to, and I don't know.
You're starting to realize the magic trick. They tell
Mhm.
you one thing and do another. You know, that's just like you said. You know, they're supposed to be protecting us. They're supposed to be doing these things, which is what we were told and what we were led to believe. But then you find
Mm-hmm.
out, you know, it's no problem for them to come up with, trillions of dollars to do something that's for them, and their
Unconscious. Yeah.
yeah, their constituents, which are J.P. Morgan, Chase,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rockefellers,
Yeah. Yeah. Pfizer.
yeah, that's just like
Pharmaceutical companies are the ones that run this country.
when all this came about, you know, Operation Warp Speed. They took trillions of dollars and gave to Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson to
Yeah.
get this out. You know,
Well, yeah, because they
Yeah.
want to keep us on the drugs that's bad for us, not the drugs that are good for us.
you
You
know,
know.
Speaking of
that's
drugs,
like a lot of people want med beds, but if you stop and think about it, if we could get rid of the GMO and get rid of all these poisonous medications and vaccinations that they're giving us, we won't need med beds. We'll be healthy. Our immune system works just fine. But
as long
True.
as
through
they feed
time,
us, and
yeah,
make
But
the
there
food the
is
way
a
it's supposed to be. Go ahead.
but there is some people may still need that regeneration process for their DNA and things because it's been tainted so bad. I mean,
if they got the med beds to work, I've seen they do have med beds, but they cost like $20,000 to buy one. And then they also have this. It's called I can't remember what the name of it is, but it looks like a small coffee can, and it's supposed to contain like a charged um, substance, which if you just set it by your chair, you'll get the effects of it. And I'm thinking, well, that sounds like a scam to me. You know, that's
How
just
much
like if
does a
they
simple
don't.
operation cost?
The the coffee can thing was like $300 or $500.
Hmm.
see, I think you could treat yourself if you can get on these frequencies without needing a expensive med bed, and you could. There's all kinds of podcasts and different things you could listen to too to feed yourself more positivity instead of tune out of all the negativity or at least minimize it drastically.
And I think too. I think right now, I mean, you guys watched that video of the about like time and the Earth and the different ways it's possible that this is, you know. And if the Earth is kind of like breathing and growing, and there is that natural frequencies and stuff like that. And I think that's really what we're dealing with now instead of a virus. It's just, they don't want to come out and tell you this because that would debunk their Big Bang theory and their globe, you know.
Well, you gotta get these germaphobes to take their shoes off and connect with the ground and the earth.
Right.
That's gonna be tricky.
And that's just it. I think that's where they really don't want anybody to know the true nature of this earth, you know. They don't want to acknowledge a creator. They don't want to acknowledge, the way the earth is and that it does change and everything. They want to call it global warming so that they can get more funding and all this and that and what have you, instead of saying, hey, you know, we're going to go, and they probably they know that this is what's happening right now, but they might not have known what the effects will be. Um, because a lot of the science and stuff like that, they don't want the real truth to get out, you know.
I was gonna
So
say, or
therefore,
did they know? Or
you
did they
know,
know the effects? And they did it
right.
on purpose.
Some people do. I believe some have and do know the real effects. But even them, you know, because even like what we're finding, when you try to, let's say that's true, you know, which I believe it's very much possible to tell someone that, you know, especially if they like we are used to looking outside of the box. So it's like, wow, that is possible. But people who are stuck in the news don't pay no attention to nothing. If you say something like that to them, they just totally shut down, shut you out. You know,
Oh yeah.
that's conspiracy. No, you know, we would have known. There's just so much to this, you know.
Oh
And I
no.
believe,
Yeah, it's go ahead.
no, I just saying that I believe, you know, things have to come out slowly, you know, and we, there's that thing that the saying, you know, where we go one, we go all. A lot of people, when you see, you know, they're talking about Bitcoin, gold, silver, the finances, Nasara, Gasara, all these other things like that. I believe no matter what happens, it has to be something that's going to benefit everyone. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, you take and get all your money and invest in gold. You know, that's, you know, because everything's going to shut down and we're going to go to gold. And, you know, I ain't going to be caught and I ain't going to be one of the stupid people who's not thinking about that. And I'm thinking, well, you know what? There's people already thinking about all this and they're not as greedy and selfish that, you know, whatever we do, we're going to do as a group. We're going to do it as a whole, you know. And
That's collective.
that's why I believe a lot of what's going on. It's going to take some time, and it all depends on how quick people um, wake up. You know,
Wake up. Yep. Open their eyes. Take their blinders off.
I think some are going to stay asleep, and more power to them. But who's going to let them stay asleep?
and there is that. You know, because I think when you start looking at it like a spiritual self, or um, you know, whether you believe in God or not, or spirits and stuff like that, this you've already started looking outside of the box once you started looking into that. Where other people who say they don't believe in God, they don't believe in a spiritualness or anything like that, they're so closed off to um, believing or accepting anything of such nature, you know. They might never wake up because, just like it says, you know, how can you tell the lies from the truth if you never see the truth? You know,
I don't know. I still think we're in some sort of video game.
it's kind of like that.
I think we choose to come down here. We choose to live the lives that we live, and we get to choose how good or bad they get to be.
There's
It all is in our.
lot of different
It's
Just
all in our
stuck in the
perspective.
twilight zone.
That's what it seems like, doesn't it?
there's a lot of different things out there, you know, and that's just like, you know, you have the Bible and that story, and then you have the Anunnaki and the fallen angels, and you go back through time, and then you have like the gods and the goddesses, the pagans' beliefs in gods and goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, I think through time, man has tried to put words into describing something that is almost impossible to describe. You know,
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get at too the other day. I think the Bible, when the Bible was written, yeah, it was written by man. I don't believe that. I believe it's been misused since then. Like maybe it was the word of God, but then it got transformed and man used it to their benefit. But still, there's a lot of things that are written in the Bible that they could not translate back then. They didn't know what they were. That they only came out in certain times on certain periods of time. And a lot of it's coming out now in this period of time to where you can actually translate and say, oh, now that makes sense because now you see what's happening. But back then they didn't know how to translate it, so they just left it as is.
Exactly.
Well,
And
perhaps it was started with a good intention and then it was infiltrated once they realized they had so many people hooked on it, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like baby powder, for instance. I mean, people use that for years and then all of a sudden it's been linked to this or that. So maybe it
time
wasn't always terrible.
time's a cycle. And I believe the Bible talked about a cycle at one point in time,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, in history and time repeats. So, what we're dealing with now was the same thing that they dealt with millions of years ago. Um, Things gets corrupt through time because of the nature of man. Um, and two, I think not only the nature of man, but just like that one video we had watched, as time goes and we go in through different ages, the frequency changes, the Earth's frequency changes. And that naturally, like, that's maybe why we are in this wake up stage, because our consciousness has um, been woken up, you know, to where, like, wow, it's kind of like we've been living all them years in a dark, sleepy haze, and now it's like, wow.
Yeah. I want to show a video, but I can't show it. But Jojo, can you show that video that where they use the pronunciations and that one that you showed me yesterday of the professor? He's up in front of the board and he's showing how words have different meanings and how we've used the
Uh,
wrong meaning, the wrong word.
let me see. Did I have
It's,
to see where I put it because I
let
shared it
me see
with
if I can
you, I
send it to you
think.
real quick.
Yeah, I remember
Well,
that video. Well, not maybe not that exact one, but it probably might be. But there was a guy and a woman, and they were breaking the words down into vowels and syllables, and you know, this is what that word means. And it's like, wow.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll just play the audio. I can't play the video, but I'll play the audio.
I was going to say I might be able to get it, but it'll take me a minute. I can hardly hear it, babe.
There representing coloration, but we all know that die means death. You see the subconscious trap now? Let's keep it going. If I ask you, where is your brother? I haven't seen him in a while, and you respond with, you know what? I'm afraid I don't know. Why are you afraid? When you meet someone on your way to work and you say, good morning. And morning is what people do when deaths occur. So you were afraid. Now you're in mourning. Subconsciously in a state of grief. To be honest, we are speaking in a language that is totally against the life of man. We also awake in the morning, but awake is a funeral party for the dead. Now, the kids of the younger generation today, when you say something funny, they quick to say, I'm dead. I'm dead. Wow. Somehow we are so unaware of the death in this language. Just like we are unaware that we call our televisions TV sets and only actors go on sets. What they've been trying to tell you the whole time is your TV is feeding you nothing but actors all day long. And we go through weak days. Why can't they be strong days? They are weak days. So we can go to work to earn a living. And we also know that urns are containers that hold the ashes of the dead. So when you earn the living, you are actually speaking of killing someone who's alive. And also jobs are called undertakings, and undertakings are associated with the dead. When our kids complete a grade in school, we say they passed. And we also know to say that someone who died has passed. When we greet most people, we do so by saying hello. See, these witches and warlocks, they thought if we can keep them thinking about the hell that's low, they will never focus on God's kingdom that's high. We have to be careful of these double meanings. Words have vibrations. We are what we eat, and not only do we eat through our mouths, but also through our ears. We eat and digest words daily through our ears, and we constantly feed death via this English language. We're being fed this death. The Lord tells us in James 3:8, no man can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. Only the Holy Spirit can free you from the curse of the English language. This is why God has what is called the heavenly tongue. And when it is used, we call it today speaking in tongues. It is a tongue that not even Satan himself can decipher. This video is to shine light on the deceptive language they have fed us all this time. Not only are they feeding us plastic with the food and having us living basically check to check, but they also have us speaking death in language they provide. Once you realize the enemy, then you will notice how important it is to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior today. Because
Well, that was pretty much it cut out right there, but there's more to it. I wish I could show the video because it does make a lot more sense.
That's the thing. They used our words against us in
Exactly.
the way that they taught us.
We're ignorant,
Hmm.
which really, we're so ignorant, we're stupid.
And now everybody knows why I say, hello. I'm not condemning nobody.
But when you stop to think of it, I believe the whole thing, as far as like, the creator, God, and to a lot of people, when they say God, they'll use the word he, but God is not. God is like a massive amount of energy with a consciousness. It's not a sexual thing or anything like that. It's um, time and space and everything orchestrated through um, oh, a divineness. Like I said, there's no real words to describe this, but that was the best I can do.
Well, they try to put it as a person so that it could be maybe a little more relatable or a little more understanding.
Right. Well, I think that was
Because
the whole part of Jesus, so that people could relate um, to God. You know, that what Jesus was saying was to help man understand the Father. The Creator of all things.
True. But I just wish they would have talked about the mother more.
Exactly.
It seems like there was a lot of women that was a part of that I don't think they touched base on enough.
Exactly. Because like we know, the Bible has been tainted. You know, but God gave His word that He would make sure that we would know, we would figure it out, we'd find out. You know, um, and maybe when the time is right, which this might be the time, because we're discussing things and we're looking and we're realizing, hey, King James, he was actually a Mason. We're starting to look deep, and just like the Bible says, seek and ye shall find. So we're seeking and we're finding, and we're trying to put all these puzzle pieces together to where it's like, wow, and just like we were just that whole thing with the English language, you know, um, not only that, look at all the chemicals we intake and all that. If it wasn't for a creator looking out for us, we'd all be dead already. They would have done wiped us out. But they can't kill us because the creator is just constantly looking out for us and, you know, putting people in the right place, touching people's heart, whatever, and doing it through frequencies and changes and um, our minds and our souls and our spirits.
I think sometimes it's even the small changes that can help, you know. That's why I switched to saying, I don't say good morning anymore. I'll say good day. I take after, was it the Aussies, I guess, or the English, when they say good day, mate, or whatever. I just leave out the mate. but,
Exactly.
but I'm
And that
wondering if maybe they had it right, though, you know.
exactly. Well, and that is a big thing because just like some of the people who are very intelligent, they say we'll start to know when society is changing when we change the way we talk. And that's just like,
Yeah.
greeting people as a brother and a sister. You know, becoming more aware of like hello and the different ways our language has been altered, our number system has been altered. You know, weights and measures and everything's altered. Where we're kind of like
Mhm.
little children again, to where we have to relearn everything.
Oh, I wish I could find that video because it's like that guy. There was a guy who was saying that's why they're starting to teach Common Core math because they don't want us to learn the language. And I forget what he called the language, but the numbers and the letters and that whole sequence of the like kind of like the gematria kind of sort of, but um, every letter and number it's its language, it's its own language, and you're changing it up by doing this Common Core.
And that's just like the Gnostics and the different they call it pagan beliefs. And when you start to look at like the pharaohs and these people, they they conducted rituals. Um, a lot of people say that is, you know, they communicate with the dark forces, but at the same time, isn't Christianity kind of like when you pray? Aren't you trying to connect with the light forces, the good forces? So it's kind of like a person has to be careful when you start looking into things um, that we don't really understand yet. You know, um, at one time there was people who understood, and maybe they did tap into the darker forces um, in order to um, maybe conquer countries or what have you. Um, but I think too, when you start doing things that are immoral, what they call moral, I believe that's when you know you're on the wrong side of things. You know, because even that video we watched, the yin and the yang, there's always been a light and a dark. You know, and you can even
Yeah.
say even within everything, there's a light and a dark. You know, us, even us. You know,
Yeah. Well, you can't have good without evil. So we have a hell of a lot of evil right now.
I don't know. I think you could have good without evil. It's just you have to be aware of it. That's just like what we're finding now. You know, there's there's good people in this world, but the criminals and these people have gotten into key positions, and their agenda is not good. It's not of a good nature. You know, we should want what's good for our fellow man. Or you know, for our children, and you know, and not have no bad agenda. You know,
Yeah.
Well, we got to have the bad so that we can identify it, and then that way we can do something about it.
Yeah, there has to be that
You know.
balance.
you
Hey, bro.
notice. Oh, go ahead, Wilson.
I'm gonna hop off real quick. I'm gonna go with my cousin. I'll try to be back on. But just in case, I'll be listening online though.
Well, talk to him and tell him, see if he wants to come on, and we could talk about this, and maybe we could get it Hawk to maybe do something for us as well, because he has a bigger channel than us, of course. But I'm sure we
Yeah,
could get his
definitely.
word out if that's what he wants to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to
Okay.
him about it right now too. All right, but love you
All right.
guys.
Love
And
you.
I'll be back on. Yeah.
Take care,
Love you,
bro.
brother.
Thanks, guys.
We're here for you. Oh, goodness. Well, that's why we just got to be here for one another as best we can. And I think a lot of people are realizing that. It's going to take us teaming up and realizing that we're on the same team. And we all been getting screwed the same.
Exactly. You know, and we got a ways to go. I mean, people have been so indoctrinated. Just like yesterday, I was watching. It was a black girl, and she was talking about you. Most times she's pretty cool, but still using like black women this and black women that. And it's like, well, to me, I'm asking myself, why do she have to put black in there? Why can't she just
Yeah.
say women? You know, women are like this and women are like that instead of black women this and black women that.
Yeah, she's
You know,
segregating herself.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
they
what
call us
goes back to
racist,
that
but
language. Go ahead. Go ahead, babe.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it goes back to that whole language thing, you know. Just leave out one word and you can make it unified.
exactly. It's like, brother, sister, regardless what color, you know, and
Exactly.
then just leave the color out. But I remember, I think I even told you when Oprah Winfrey said, I don't want to be recognized by the color of my skin. I'm an African American. And she was probably born in
Oh,
Portuguese.
And she's
yeah.
probably less African than an African American.
Right. She was born in New York.
Yeah, well, I have my opinions about Oprah Winfrey, and I'm sure we all have the same opinion, but still.
But
Um,
that's why the elite, the people who are wealthy, they're wealthy because they knew how the game works, and they know if
yeah.
they promote um, racism, um, you know, they they would get recognition by certain people. They would sponsor them. They would, that's how she got her show and her Mega Millions and this and that, because she was an icon for the black community, um, basically to keep them um, racist, against white people. I hate to use the
I,
word
Yeah, well,
racist.
yeah.
go
I
ahead.
hate to use the word white people. I think we're all shades of brown. I think by now most of us are mixed. And
Oh
that's
yeah,
good. I mean, nothing wrong with it.
yeah. I mean, I don't think there is any such thing as a purebred. You know, we've all been through. You know, we've been around the world so many times. We've all got a little bit of everything in us, and
I
then
know I'm a mutt.
there's even the speculation. Like Jesus was married and had a child, so therefore there's actually um, the Christ bloodline, which that might be true in order, and that might have been really one of the reasons why our Creator came to earth as a man, was to um, flush out the evil bloodline that's in us.
There you go. I got a theory here. If I can play this, I don't know.
Let's
We'll
hear it.
see. I may just have to play the audio on my phone like you did.
Ah, you gotta love YouTube.
I just gotta love the computer, period. It's just being a pain.
Oh, good lord.
YouTube
Alright,
has
let's
to
try it this way.
YouTube has to look at it first.
I
Yeah.
guess. Let me see. Let's make sure my volume's turned up. Can I play it?
Marijuana.
Oh, that's not it.
Alright, Black TikTok, you guys listen to me and I'm gonna try to talk in a normal, even tone and not so fast. There's some shit that I want to share with you guys. When you hear Africans tell us we are not African, that we are indigenous to North America, they are not lying to you. However, some of our heritage does come from West Africa. I'm not taking that away from us. There's a reason why they did not want us to have access to Christopher Columbus's journal. Inside of that journal, it details how he moved us around for 33 years and turned the map upside down to further confuse us. The Bermuda Triangle is the actual slave Atlantic trade route, and that's something people don't know, and it takes reading and learning. Christopher Columbus started off in South America and in the islands. All the people he didn't kill, when he ravaged through that land, he enslaved. Those people that he enslaved down there, he shot them to North America. And of course, if you are from North America, you know the things that he did when he got here. But here's where the twists come in at. The people that he brought up from South America and the islands, he left in North America. The ones that he enslaved in North America, he shot to West Africa. When he got to West Africa, he did the same thing, ravaged through the land. He left the ones he brought from North America and West Africa and took the ones out of West Africa and shot them to the islands. That is the actual Bermuda Triangle, not the little spot over in the ocean that they telling you no. What he did then is the actual Bermuda Triangle. This man did that for 33 years, and he twisted the map so many damn times to even further confuse us. So, some of our heritage does come from North America. Some of it comes from the islands, and some of it comes from West Africa, and not just West Africa, throughout Africa. That explains so much when you guys do these DNA tests. The reason you're wondering why it's like all over the map, but at the same time, it's like certain points that you can draw a fucking triangle with. Pay attention to that. If it had not been for my ancestors leaving journals, I would have thought all of my heritage came from Africa. I know for a fact that my great-grandfather's great-grandfather was not a slave. He came over from Africa willingly on his own. But I have female ancestors because they were dark-skinned or about my color and chose to marry freed slaves. They labeled these people as niggas on the U.S. Census, and they are not. They are indigenous to the Americas. Never been to Africa. The craziest part about it, you may have labeled them as niggas on the U.S. Census, but why did you allow them to be buried inside of Indian mounds if they were full-blood Negroes? Black people, unlearn all of that bullshit that they taught you in school, because I can almost guarantee you it's false. See that even when you go to college, from high school to college, the history books completely change. Completely. The shit you learned in high school, they tell you to unlearn it when you go to college because it does you no good. It's a lie. Only thing I'm saying to my people is read for yourself. And if you guys are not trying to help us understand our heritage, that means you are hindering it. Get out of our way. All right, Black TikTok, you guys listen to me, and I'm going to try to talk.
So, makes sense, possibly. Now they wonder why everybody's confused.
Exactly. And that's just like, turn the map upside down. But at the same time, the flat map, there was one, I was watching he was a black fella. He was doing a lot of history. and he was looking at some of the old maps, and like Jerusalem changed locations like 6 times. So everybody's saying,
Right.
"Oh, the people coming back to Jerusalem." It, it's like, well, where? Which one? You know, um, because the map, what today is known as Jerusalem, I don't believe was the Jerusalem back in Jesus's day, or the day or the time of um, the biblical times.
Right. I like the one where they ball it up like if you take the flat map, and you know how they got like the Arctic wall or whatever, and if you ball it up, it actually makes the South Pole or North Pole or whatever. I was
Exactly.
like, ah.
There's so much to our whole existence, you know, but why would they do that? Why would they want to not have us know, our real history and everything? It's so that they pirated off of us is what they did. Because, okay, if, and we'll use that word if there was a creator and he created human beings and he put us on this land and he give this land to us, he didn't give it to the government, he didn't give it to OPEC, he didn't give it to the bankers, he gave it to the people, everybody, every one of us. you know that's what they don't want us to know, because look
Yeah.
how much they profited off of the backs of the people, by saying, oh, you know, the government owns this, or, oh, you know, OPEC owns this, you know.
Well, I mean, it would have made sense if they were trying to weed out the savages, but why are they trying to create savage individuals? That's the part that confuses me. Like if they had this beautiful utopia behind this ice wall, and only a certain few could go beyond there, it would make sense to kind of have a security guard type thing.
Right.
But like I said, but they're creating the chaos. So that part is what don't make sense, unless it's just a big test to see if we can be corrupted and manipulated and everything.
I
I
think
don't know.
that's it. And they call that, what is it, the Great American um, Experiment, or a human experiment. It's like these people who are the puppet masters, they have at their disposal psychiatrists, doctors, you know, people who know the real truth of things, and even like how the ancients knew black magic and different things like that. They've got people on their payroll, if they want to um, know something, or um, get people to do what they want them to do, they do it. And that's just like, even right now, with everything we're learning and how corrupt things are and stuff like that, it's kind of like they already know pretty much what we're going to do. That's just like or George Floyd. They knew if they took a white cop and killed a black man in broad daylight with 6,000 cameras on him, they would get a response. And they knew exactly people would start protesting. So then they knew, well, all we need is just a few actors to put in there to break a few windows, throw a few Molotov cocktails. We'll have a full blown riot and make it look like the people did it. Same thing they did at the Capitol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was it Pelosi said? I'm surprised there's not a bigger uproar, but maybe there will be, or
Exactly.
something. Yeah, yeah. The fact that they stage as much stuff just to see what we'll do, it's like it's all a test.
But just like that
Wow,
that
I hate
video,
tests. Go ahead.
that little video you
Mm.
played, that that guy talking about, you know, We just want to be left alone.
Hmm.
And, they're going to eventually, people's going to stand up because it's like, we don't want this. This isn't what we want. This isn't what we signed up for. And if we stand up, like he said, we're going to go into uncharted waters where we can't go back once we go forward, once we go past that point
Hmm.
of no return, you know.
Well, they say don't poke the bear. So,
Yeah.
rawr. Hey, Breezy.
Hey,
Oh, Breezy.
hey, how's it going?
You make it pretty good. We're just sitting here having our usual chats and played some
I'm
stuff.
late to the mix.
Or played what I could. Technical difficulties and all, but mm,
I was listening. I started listening. I had to get a couple things and find a headset and all that. What was that? The girl talking about with Christopher Columbus,
so basically what she was saying is that her ancestors has passed down journals over time, and within these journals it basically explains the African American heritage, how Christopher Columbus basically traveled these different areas and basically relocated some of the black population around to where it just kind of mixed it up to where you can't just say you're from Africa. You might be from, say, the north or the south or whatever. Like he mixed them up, more or less.
right? And I mean,
So,
even if he didn't, it's mixed up now. So most
right.
people
Well,
who are
that was the
born here
start of the
are
mix,
from here.
right? Well, I mean, that was the start of the mix, is what basically is kind of what happened.
Gotcha.
Some people came here voluntarily, some people didn't. Some people were bought and sold, and it was people. It wasn't just the African people. It was
Right.
all sorts of people. It was the Irish, it was the English, it was all.
Right.
And that's what
Hey,
always irritates me when I hear about slavery and this and that, and then you only hear about black slaves. You don't ever hardly hear about the other kind of slaves. It's like we were all bought and sold and traded like Pokemon cards.
Right.
look at Dachau and over there in Nazi Germany with the Jewish. That was one of the things Hitler did with one of the rubber companies. He had made a deal with the rubber company, and they built a rubber company right next to one of the concentration camps, where he would charge them like 90 cents an hour for unskilled labor and a buck 30, I think it was, for skilled labor. Um, these people didn't get the money; it went into the Nazi money. But they could, he was capitalizing on the workforce, the slaves. He turned them into slaves, is what he did.
But the thing about it too is in a way it kind of backfired because, well, I mean, maybe not for all the different ethnics, but unfortunately some were annihilated and genocided out. But when what they did mix, it kind of kept that genetic going. So who knows? One day we might be like the like the white dog out of Hawk's dog pack. It might, originate back
Exactly. Well, and
and
two,
be like a rare breed.
just like that, that thing was saying, time does things. It actually does, I believe, physically affect us as a people or as a world, really. you know. At one time, there used to be massive trees. There used to be, the oxygen level was higher. There's a lot of things that was different. But through times, things have changed, and we've slowly adapted. And I think too, even right now, they're calling this a virus and what have you. I think we went through a different stage in time. I don't know exactly what happened, but at the same time, I believe it is affecting us. We're adapting to it. but some people ain't making it, you know.
Well, I think the real virus is hatred. I mean, when people hate another people for whatever, I mean, for the most part, it's usually something minimal and pathetic, like to hate somebody over. You know, like when bullies started, when they hated you because you didn't wear the popular stuff, or, you know, this race hating this race. It's just, it's enough. It's really enough.
They,
I'm hoping that this year is going to be the end of it, or at least a start of the end of it.
they kind of say they use the word evil as the virus. You know, it's something you can't see. It's something that spreads. It's something that anybody can have an effect. You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
it is
Yeah.
curable. It's treatable. Um,
Yeah.
My
You just
my
gotta go
thing is
in,
the division that it causes with families. It's
right?
unbelievable the amount of families affected.
families, friends. You know,
Yep.
and too, like we were saying, you know, life is kind of like a test. You know, maybe that's what this is a test, and it's people are realizing, you know, maybe who your real friends are, or who's um, people that are like-minded. You know,
Yeah, I think we meet everybody that we come into contact with for a reason, and we got to figure out what that reason is. And sometimes, for the most part, I think it kind of teaches you a lot about yourself.
right?
Like, you know, what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of people do you want to hang out with? Um, you know, they say birds of a feather flock together, but birds lose their feathers too. So, gotta look at it that way when it comes to like a negative sense. Like if you're hanging out with the wrong crowd or whatever, you can shed that crowd.
How can I change this world? Start with myself.
Matter of fact, me and Solo was talking about that. I think it was today and yesterday. How we're kind of like a mirror of each other. And sometimes it works in our favor and sometimes not so much.
That's what makes relationships beautiful.
Right? Because we get to learn from each other. Like, you get to see what you don't like about yourself or what you may like about yourself.
Yep. Even 18 years in, you still learn new things.
Well, I'm hoping I can say 20 years ago.
Right? I think you will.
Did you see that
Yeah.
comment in Hawk's room? Everybody got to talking about like men and like how men aren't men anymore, and kind of you know, putting it how the way things are in society. You know, guys that are more feminine and this and that, and it's hard to find a good guy. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, I put my comment. I was women really don't like real men anymore. I said the other day I grabbed a woman by the hair and I was dragging her off into my cave and she just bitched all the way.
Hmm. No, I think a woman wants the combination of a little bit of a bad boy, but a little bit of a nice guy. Not too much of one or the other. Somewhere in a happy medium.
But you know, and the same thing, just like when I was telling you about that girl, I was on her, well, not on her panel, but went and she was talking about dating and guys, and she kept using, you know, the word black. She's a black girl, and she goes, "Well, black girls this, and black girls that, and you know, black guys this, and black guy." And I'm thinking to myself, now why do you have to put the word black in there? You know, can't women be women regardless of color? You know, can't guys be guys regardless of color? You know, does it have to be a black guy or a white guy? I mean, yes, you know, when you're talking specifically about like a white guy, but don't put everybody categorized. Um, you know, just like talking about men, that's kind of like what they call that stereotyping, where all guys are the same. It's like,
Yeah.
no, guys aren't all the same. That'd be like me saying all women are the same. You know, women aren't all the same.
Well, it seems to me like no matter what the combination of the couple is, one is usually going to be a little more feminine than the other, or one's going to be a little more masculine than the other. So
There's a book called "Women Are from Venus and Men Are from Mars,"
from Mars, yeah.
or vice
Remember,
versa. I can't remember. But
men are
that's
from
very,
Mars, women are from Venus. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting book because you know we all have personalities, and the way they described it is kind of like in a spectrum from a weak to a strong, like the alpha um, side of things to being more less alpha, and it's
Yeah.
very
Alpha and beta.
yeah, it's
It's
very
beta.
interesting. And too, like guys tend to like say if something's bothering me, I become quiet and I tend to keep to myself versus
And if it's
where
bothering a feminine, it's everybody knows about it, even you.
right. Well, and that's what the book was saying. You know, a woman has to do that in order because that's how they work it out. You know, that'd be like you talking to Breezy or Solo or somebody about your problem. That's how you work it out. Where a guy doesn't need that to work it out, he has to go by himself and work it out.
Right. Well, I mean, if you have a problem with a guy, you might take it to a guy to get a guy's perspective, or a guy might take an issue with a girl to to a girl to get another girl's perspective. However, so yeah, I could see that. Hmm. Stop running this.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things we're learning, just like you know with the language, our language, and labeling. You know, just like the
Hmm.
things we're just talking about. You know, why stick labels on people? You know, why do we have to bring certain things in that don't matter?
Have something to complain about. Oh, I don't know. Have something to talk about. What was that song? Let's give them something to talk about.
But
What's that?
you never come up with a conclusion. So long as you're using the wrong words and you're labeling and you're going about it in the wrong way, you know, you'll never come up with a conclusion. That's partly why we're always arguing, and that's like I say, race. You know, there's only one race. That's the human race. So when somebody says
Hmm.
you're racist, that in itself is false. That's not even accurate because there's only one race. How can you be racist? That means you hate everybody, which, you know, I'm racist. I hate everybody.
Yeah, I hate everybody the same till they give me a reason not to.
You got a bot. Is that another one?
Oops, I don't know. I think I blocked Jeremiah and I didn't mean to.
Yeah. You left the bot.
Yeah. Well, they both popped up at the same time, so sorry, Jeremiah. And I can't undo it either. Not for me, I don't guess. My bad. I had my I had it on them and then the next one popped up and I was like, oh crap. And then had it clicked and I couldn't backtrack. I don't know if there's a way to unblock them or not. I can't. It won't let me.
There's got to be a list somewhere.
All right. I would have
I
just
know
timed it out if I could.
I had to unblock. I had blocked somebody for a little while, and I went and unblocked them later on. But for a while, their chat got a little wild, so I just blocked it. But I was able to unblock it, but I'm not sure I could tell you how.
I don't know how through StreamYard. I don't know. I feel bad now. Could have been like, dang it. Let me see which channel he was on.
Do you know what the comment said? Because I didn't see it. Not the bot one, but Jeremiah's.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
Because some of the bots that come in have normal names. Not saying that that person is a bot, but I'm just throwing it out there that.
Right, that's what I was saying. His wording was weird because it said VYN.FYI. So maybe it was probably good that I did block it.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote yes.
Yeah,
Because they came in like back to back. I was kind of.
Yeah, might have been actually two bots.
That's what I'm thinking. So now maybe I don't feel so bad. Because, yeah, I didn't recognize their language. That's why I was like, Because Jeremiah Klein, I mean, we related to Calvin, are you? Or what? Sorry.
I just don't know if they'd be hanging out with this common folk, you know.
Speak a English, please. Or try. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be discriminatory, but when you're putting in just letters, I don't know what you're trying to say. Looks like random letters.
I put a couple links in the private chat. Pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys seen them or not.
Probably not. I keep meaning to go to Odyssey more, and I do have a shortcut set up.
A lot of things that got took off of YouTube or on Odyssey.
Yeah. Yeah, I've went in there a few times, but then there's so many so many links, so many sites. It's hard to keep up with them all. I keep up with what I can.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yay, got his sound back.
Oh
Yay.
my God, it was a mission.
I was going to say, I did not gag him, I promise.
I was like a man without a voice. I'm over here talking, nobody could hear me, and you blocked Jeremiah, so I go over there to YouTube to unblock him and come back, and I didn't hear nothing. YouTube.
I think you got another bot.
Hola. What is boom today?
Popular.
What is boom today? I don't know what that is.
I think it's a bot.
Yeah. They're blocked.
I don't get the point of that.
They are blocked. Why do you hide the comment? Why is the comment not coming down? I don't know if I can take the comment down now since you blocked it.
Somebody post another comment. Hurry.
Right. Here.
There we go.
Can I get that one? There we go. Hey, there is a way down to it. Thanks, Breezy.
Why is it that you sound normal and they sound like robots?
Who sounds normal in robots?
John and Breezy. You sound normal.
I don't know.
I sound like a robot?
Not to me.
Oh, now you sound normal.
I don't know.
Maybe it's because you were clicking at the same time they were talking. Oh. Got quick draw McGraws up here.
Yeah, right? Well, it's getting pretty chaotic in here because my stream is acting up bad. I think we should just end this for today and then come back tomorrow maybe or the day after, but I'm not liking the way it's acting right now.
Right. Well, we can hang
This whole
back in the
time I
back if you
didn't-
want.
Yeah, we'll hang out backstage, but this whole time I didn't have audio. I got booted, and then I came back in and I couldn't talk and I couldn't activate my cam, so I had to leave, came back, no audio, no audio, no audio. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I
Are
know.
you
Right
using a
now,
regular
John
headset?
and Breezy both sound. See, there he goes. Breezy sounds like a robot. John sounds normal. You sound normal, Jojo. But Breezy sounds like a robot.
I don't know. They sound fine to me. A little scratchy, but Breezy was a little bit
That's what I'm
scratchy, but
saying.
I thought maybe it was my headset. I
I
don't know.
think it's my end.
But
Maybe it's mine. Has it been just since I came on?
no, because
I
you sound
can't
fine
understand
now.
what you say.
Okay.
I can translate.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could end this. So if y'all want us to play back, you can. Please like, share, and subscribe. Love y'all. And thanks for our
Bye.
panel. Bye.
Bye.
For now.
We're gonna hang backstage.